Have you ever felt like your divine masculine is stuck, trapped between the desire to move forward and the fear of truly opening his heart? Do you find yourself wondering why, despite all the signs of awakening, he still seems hesitant to embrace the union fully? You're not alone. Many on the twin flame journey grapple with the uncertainty of whether their divine masculine is truly ready to take that final step toward union. Today, we'll dive deep into this pivotal moment, the final test that the divine masculine must face before union can manifest. This test isn't about proving himself to you or to the world. Instead, it's a profound inner battle between his ego's fear of love and his soul's desire for truth. Understanding this test can help you hold space with compassion while staying rooted in your own truth. We will explore the nature of this inner confrontation, why it's essential, and how the divine feminine can maintain her balance during this crucial phase. By the end of this video, you'll gain a clearer perspective on what this test means for your journey and how you can support your divine masculine without losing your own sense of self. You'll learn how to recognize the signs of this inner struggle and what it truly signifies about your connection. If you're ready to deepen your understanding and support your union in a balanced, empowering way, this video is for you. So, take a deep breath, center your heart, and stay with us to the end. Don't miss this opportunity to gain the insight you've been searching for. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Spiritual Universe channel for more guidance on your twin flame journey. Number 1. Facing the fear of love. The divine masculine's final test. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted expanse, the point where everything you have tried to avoid finally catches up to you. This is where the divine masculine finds himself, teetering between the familiar safety of his old patterns and the daunting truth of his soul's calling. The pull towards union is undeniable, powerful, magnetic, and relentless. Yet, something deep within him resists. Why does he hesitate? What holds him back when every fiber of his being yearns to take that final step into love? The answer lies within the deepest chambers of his heart, the fear of love. It is not the love itself that frightens him, but the vulnerability it demands, the complete surrender of control, the dissolution of ego, and the willingness to let down his guard. For the divine masculine, this final test is not about proving his worth or demonstrating grand gestures. Instead, it is about confronting the one truth he has never truly faced, that love is not a threat, but a liberation. To love without fear means to break free from the chains of his own self-imposed limitations, and that prospect can feel overwhelming. As he stands on this threshold, a strange heaviness fills the space around him, a silence so profound that it almost deafens him. It is not just any silence, it is the kind that hums with energy and anticipation, a quiet before the storm of transformation. This is not the distance he once feared. It is the preparation his soul has been orchestrating all along. In this moment, he is not lost. Rather, he is being tested, challenged to look within, to acknowledge the battle between his ego's reluctance and his soul's deepest yearning. In this space of inner conflict, the divine masculine is faced with the ultimate question. Will you keep running from what your soul already knows, or will you finally choose to believe in love? This question reverberates through his being, stripping away every mask he has worn to protect himself from vulnerability. It shakes the foundations of his identity, forcing him to confront the stark reality that union is not a fairy tale ending, but a raw, honest merging of his authentic self with another soul. The resistance he feels is not a sign of failure. It is an invitation to courage, to stand at the precipice of transformation and choose love despite the fear. That is the essence of his journey. He must learn that love is not a weakness, but the greatest act of strength. The divine feminine, on her part, holds space with grace, knowing that his silence is not a rejection, but a signal that he is deep in the process of shedding his old self. The final test is not about proving his love to anyone else, but himself. Can he break free from the cycle of running and embrace the love he so deeply desires? Can he stop convincing himself that love is a threat and start believing that it is the very essence of his liberation? The journey to union is not just about being with his counterpart, it is about becoming whole within himself. In this delicate phase, patience and understanding are paramount. The divine feminine's role is not to push or demand, but to remain rooted in her own truth, allowing him the space to face his fears without judgment. As the divine masculine continues his inner battle, he slowly realizes that love is not something to be feared, but a journey to be embraced. The silence that once seemed daunting now feels sacred, holding the promise of transformation. He is not lost, he is evolving. The final test is not about achieving perfection, but choosing love over fear, authenticity over ego, and truth over illusion. Only then can he step forward, not as a man running from love, but as one who has finally chosen to believe in it, to live it, and to honor it within himself. As we delve deeper into this transformative journey of the divine masculine, it's essential to reflect on how fear of love might be playing a role in our own lives. Have you ever found yourself resisting the very thing your heart truly desires? Take a moment to consider how facing your own fears could lead to a deeper connection with yourself and others. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experience in the comments below, or simply type, "I choose love over fear," as an affirmation of your commitment to embracing love and transformation. Stay with us as we explore the next phase of this profound journey. Number 2, the mirror of truth, facing the final test. Have you ever felt the ache of silence, the weight of resistance, or the unsettling sense of absence when it comes to your divine masculine? It's easy to mistake these experiences for rejection, but in truth, they are not. These moments are reflections, mirrors that reveal his deepest, most guarded fears. Behind the quiet lies the fear of losing control, the terror of surrendering to vulnerability, the discomfort of being seen without his protective armor, and the anxiety of not living up to expectations. This is the final test he must face, a tumultuous inner battle where the soul's voice grows louder than the mind, yet the ego desperately tries to maintain its grip. This test does not manifest in grand gestures or obvious drama. Instead, it feels like a quiet storm, a sense of pressure wrapped in stillness, chaos without motion. It's an agonizing paradox where nothing seems to move, yet everything inside him is shifting. This is the space where many divine masculines falter, not because they lack love, but because they are confronted with a kind of love that challenges their very core. It's a love that demands truth, authenticity, and the courage to shed the old masks of performance and pretense. In this space, his soul brings long-buried wounds to the surface. These wounds are not new. They have always been there, quietly influencing his choices and his way of relating. But now, they are illuminated, raw and exposed, forcing him to question his own identity. The soul asks a profound question. Are you ready to let go of the false self so that the real you can emerge? This is not a simple choice. It's an inner reckoning that requires him to abandon old stories of inadequacy and unworthiness. The silence you perceive is not a sign of disinterest or abandonment. It's a sign of his soul wrestling with the ultimate decision to evolve or remain stuck. It is a moment where he must decide whether to keep running from his own heart or finally embrace the truth that love demands of him. For the divine feminine, this phase is equally challenging. It's tempting to interpret his withdrawal as a sign of failure or betrayal, but it's crucial to recognize that he is not rejecting you. He is confronting himself. The quiet is not distance, but preparation, a necessary stillness before transformation can take root. If you find yourself in this phase, the best you can do is hold space without losing your own balance. Your grounded presence, your unwavering self-love, and your willingness to trust the journey will help him navigate this inner storm. Remember, you are not here to fix or save him. You are here to embody the love that inspires him to choose truth over fear. As you stand strong in your own light, you become a guiding star, not just for him, but for yourself. This final test is not just his, it is also yours. It's a call to deepen your own inner work, to release expectations, and to honor the sacred unfolding of your journey. By doing so, you create a safe space where love, in its most authentic form, can blossom, free from masks, resistance, and the old patterns that no longer serve either of you. In the end, love that stands the test of truth is not forced. It flows naturally. Let the silence teach you patience. Let the stillness remind you of your own strength. And let the space between you hold the promise of a love that is fearless, genuine, and ready to rise. Imagine a man who has always worn a strong, unbreakable facade, convinced that showing vulnerability means being weak. One day, he meets someone who sees beyond his armor, and suddenly he feels exposed, like his true self is being revealed. In response, he pulls back, becomes distant, and seems to retreat. To the outside world, it looks like rejection, but in reality, he is facing his deepest fear, being loved for who he truly is, not for his achievements. In the silence, his soul whispers, "It's time to let go of the need to perform and be real." This quiet transformation is not about dramatic change, but about daring to lower the walls and risk being seen. Eventually, he realizes that true love doesn't demand perfection. It asks for authenticity. Slowly, he steps forward, choosing to embrace vulnerability, allowing love to flow naturally. In this journey, silence is not abandonment, but preparation, a space where truth and love can rise. Number 3. The awakening moment, a journey of inner transformation. Have you ever felt that your divine masculine is stuck, unmoving, or even retreating? It's easy to interpret his silence as a lack of progress or interest, but in truth, profound changes are happening beneath the surface, changes that are reshaping his very understanding of love, vulnerability, and his own heart. The divine masculine may appear distant, but this phase is not about regression. It's the quiet before the storm of realization. The divine feminine might sense stagnation, but within his energetic field, something profound is unfolding. He is being called to confront the one belief that has held him back through every cycle of separation, the belief that love makes him weak and vulnerable. This is not an instantaneous awakening. It's a gradual unraveling of old patterns, a process marked by confusion, stillness, and an undeniable call to embrace the truth. Imagine standing at the edge of everything you've ever feared, knowing that the only way forward is through. That's where the divine masculine finds himself, at a threshold where the handle of the door before him is forged from every fear he was taught to harbor. Vulnerability, trust, surrender, and emotional depth. This door can only be opened by him, and it requires him to break through the barriers of his conditioned beliefs and fears. It's not that he doesn't want to move forward, rather, he's caught in the profound realization that love is not a threat, but a gateway to his own transformation. This realization is both beautiful and terrifying. It's a moment of reckoning, a space where his soul is louder than his ego, urging him to let go of the armor and embrace authenticity. For the divine feminine, this period can feel frustrating or disheartening, especially when she sees no visible movement. Yet, her role is not to force or pull him through this door. Instead, she must hold her own vibration steady, trusting that the shift is happening, even if it's not apparent. The divine feminine's unwavering faith becomes a guiding light, illuminating the path that he must choose to walk. This awakening is his alone to experience. The divine feminine cannot open this door for him or make the journey easier. Her power lies in maintaining her own alignment, demonstrating the strength and grace that love embodies, and holding space without wavering. When he does step through that door, when he finally chooses to confront the vulnerability he has long avoided, everything will change. Their connection will deepen, and the dynamic will shift from resistance to acceptance, from fear to love. This process is not a linear path, and it's not one that follows a predictable timeline. It's messy, intense, and profoundly human. But through this awakening, the divine masculine learns to embrace his own heart without fear, realizing that vulnerability does not make him weak, it makes him real. So, as the divine feminine holds her own ground, let her remember that his silence is not abandonment, it's transformation. When he finally steps through that door, the love they both seek will emerge in a more authentic, aligned, and powerful form. This is the awakening moment, the pause before the leap, the stillness before the truth unfolds. It is the birth of a love that is both tender and fierce, vulnerable and strong. And when that moment arrives, it will be worth every second of waiting. If you've made it this far, it means you're truly invested in understanding the profound journey of the divine masculine's awakening. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever felt that silent pause before a breakthrough? That moment of stillness where change was brewing beneath the surface? Share your story in the comments, or simply type, "I trust the process," as an affirmation to hold space for transformation. Your journey matters, and your voice can inspire others who are navigating this path. Let's support one another as we embrace the beauty of awakening together. Number 4, the test of belief, embracing love over fear. The divine masculine stands at a profound crossroads, facing a pivotal test that challenges the very core of his being. This test poses a fundamental question. Does he trust his feelings more than his fears? As the soul-level bond with his divine feminine draws nearer, a surge of unresolved emotions and deeply ingrained fears rises to the surface. Old wounds, rooted in past experiences and often reinforced by inherited conditioning, begin to resurface. Feelings of shame, guilt, fear of failure, and the pervasive belief that he is somehow unworthy of experiencing this profound love emerge not merely as fleeting thoughts, but as dense vibrational blocks. These blocks are like echoes of a life shaped by the notion that love must be earned or performed, rather than simply embraced. At this crucial juncture, the divine masculine is called to make a choice, one that will shape his path forward. He must examine these old stories that have dictated his perception of love and worthiness for far too long. To move toward union, he must consciously decide to let go of these outdated narratives, recognizing them as barriers to his own evolution. This is not a simple or instantaneous process. It involves unraveling layers of self-doubt and fear, and replacing them with a new understanding that love is not a threat to his identity, but an invitation to reveal his most authentic self. The challenge is profound because it requires the divine masculine to move beyond the survival mode that taught him to shield his heart. He must learn that love does not demand perfection or performance. It is not something to be achieved through proving oneself worthy. Instead, love in its purest form exists as an open, unconditional flow, a space where he can be both strong and vulnerable without judgment or rejection. To step into this new paradigm, he must confront his fear of surrendering control. The fear that if he allows himself to fully experience this love, he may lose his sense of self. Yet, the truth is the opposite. By releasing the need to control how love unfolds, he grants himself the freedom to grow. This awakening of belief is not just about accepting love from another. It is about believing that he is inherently deserving of love, regardless of past mistakes or perceived inadequacies. As he moves through this test, the divine masculine may find himself pulled between his familiar protective patterns and the deeper knowing that his soul craves connection. The journey forward lies in honoring the call to authenticity, in daring to let his heart be seen, and in choosing love despite the fear. It is through this courageous choice that the walls of resistance begin to dissolve, allowing love to flow freely. Ultimately, this test of belief is not about external validation or earning someone's affection. It is an inner revolution, a radical acceptance that love is his birthright. By embracing this truth, the divine masculine not only heals himself, but also opens the door to deeper union, allowing the soul bond to flourish in its most genuine form. Through this process, he learns that to love courageously is to choose belief over fear every single time. Number 5. Holding space without rescue, embracing the divine feminine's role. In the journey of twin flames, the divine feminine often finds herself standing on the precipice of compassion and intervention, witnessing the divine masculine's inner struggle. It is natural for her nurturing heart to want to reach out, to offer comfort, or even to rescue him from the depths of his own challenges. Yet, the essence of true love does not lie in rescue. It lies in holding space without interference. To support his transformation, the divine feminine must remain firmly rooted in her own center. This grounded presence is not only a sign of her inner strength, but also a vital, energetic anchor that stabilizes the shared field. While it may feel counterintuitive, stepping into the role of a savior or a healer at this moment would only hinder his progress. Attempting to rescue him would inadvertently affirm his doubts and fears, reinforcing the illusion that he cannot face his own inner demons without external aid. Comforting his ego would perpetuate the cycle of avoidance, preventing him from breaking through his own limitations. The divine feminine's role is not to fix or to guide him through his darkness. Instead, it is to embody her own truth, allowing her inner light to shine unwaveringly as he navigates his personal challenges. This requires immense courage and a deep understanding that love, in its purest form, does not control or manipulate. It allows space for growth. It is through this silent yet powerful stance that she demonstrates the essence of unconditional love, one that supports without overpowering, that holds without constraining. In this phase, the divine feminine must also turn inward and ask herself crucial questions. How can I deepen my own journey during this period of transformation? What aspects of my own growth can I nurture while holding space for him? By focusing on her personal evolution, she not only respects his process, but also strengthens her own spiritual foundation. Her growth becomes a reflection of love's maturity, a love that knows when to step back and when to let go. Her groundedness during this time serves as an energetic balance, a quiet assurance that while he may be battling his fears and doubts, the love between them does not waver. This strength and stability act as a guiding light, not by interference, but by demonstrating that alignment, not control, is the true essence of love. It is a lesson in non-attachment, holding space without expectation or the need to direct his path. Instead of seeking ways to intervene, the divine feminine must continue moving forward, not in abandonment, but in faith. Faith that the love between them is resilient enough to withstand his inner battles, and faith that her own path is equally significant. By choosing not to chase or fix, she shows him that love is not about dependency or rescue. It is about allowing each soul to reach its own truth independently. This journey requires her to cultivate patience and trust. Patience in his process and trust in the divine timing that governs their union. The most profound support she can offer is to live in her own alignment, demonstrating that love does not diminish when challenges arise, but evolves into a deeper, more authentic connection. Ultimately, holding space without rescue is not an act of indifference, but a profound expression of respect and belief in his strength to overcome. It is a powerful message that the divine masculine can face his own shadows without being saved. This is the paradox of true love. Sometimes, the greatest act of love is allowing someone to struggle and find their way, while remaining a steadfast and unwavering presence in the background. Through this choice, she not only honors his journey, but also reaffirms her commitment to her own path of growth and self-discovery. In the end, this journey is not about being chosen by the divine masculine. It's about choosing yourself, time and time again, until love no longer feels like something to be earned or proven. It's about honoring your own growth, healing your own wounds, and standing firmly in the truth of your soul's light. The divine feminine's transformation is not dependent on whether he steps forward or remains at the gate. She has already crossed the threshold, choosing to live authentically, guided by her own love and truth. If he chooses to follow, it won't be because of her waiting, convincing, or trying to make him see. It will be because she has become love itself, a radiant presence that neither chases nor forces, but simply exists in its pure, sovereign form. In this embodiment, she understands that love is not about pursuit, but about resonance. The magnetic pull of her authentic self becomes the invitation, a sacred calling that asks nothing, yet offers everything. Reflect on this journey and how it mirrors your own path of self-acceptance and inner union. Have you crossed the threshold into self-love? Share your thoughts, or simply type, "I choose myself," in the comments to affirm your commitment to living in your truth. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on your twin flame journey. Your story matters, and we're here to support you every step of the way.